Hello, welcome to the Late Night Lounge here on Latte FM. It is Friday, the 9th of January. The first week of 2026 is done. Arsenal have drawn to Liverpool last night, and there's been a lot to talk about on the socials. I'm sure you've all been indulging in all the ever so exciting content. We're going to dissect that. We're going to talk about Bukayo Saka's new contract. We're going to talk about Manchester City being active in the market. Semenyo done. Maybe Guehi next. And of course, it is the Arsenal Cup weekend, the FA Cup weekend, third round. What an enthralling tie we've seen down in Wales. Wrexham beating Nottingham Forest on penalties. A former gunner, the Wrexham hero in the shootout. It is a great, great day. We're looking forward to this weekend. Lots to talk about. Let's get stuck in. First of all, the chat. Tamina was first tonight saying, "Hi, FK. How are you doing today?" I'm very well. I've had a good week at work. That first week at work always hits you like a bus. And the temperature is beginning to get a little bit milder. So I'm pleased. I'm very, very happy. She says, when are you doing Arsenal transfer shows, please? Yeah. Do you know what? The window has been open for like 9-10 days. We're a third of the way through and I've not done any. Might have to give that some thought. Afsar, evening, Guna FK. Let's play the reserves in the cup games. Rest key players. Rice, Timber, Saka, Saliba, Big Gab. They all need rests. We'll talk about our team selection and what we might think will happen on Sunday. He's optimistic, though. Says we will beat Portsmouth 9-0 anyway. V Vlad, good evening. All still disappointed about yesterday, but we move. Happy birthday, Yembele, and happy retirement. I tell you what. He's ahead of the curve. Karen is in the house. Says, hello, hope everyone is well. Dave is here. Warm welcome to all of our Patreon members, channel members. Thank you so much. So much for your generous support to the channel. It goes a very, very long way. Dave is one of those. Generous with his wallet, generous with his heart as well. Says, happy 65th birthday to Yembele. Hope he's enjoying his retirement. Do you know what? We can't let him just take the pelt. Yes, we can. We can let him take the pelters without answer because he's going to come. He's angry. Yembele is angry about last night, about his birthday, about his impending retirement, about so many things. Happy birthday, Yembele says 1L. Is that 1L? 1L? I always thought it was 11-11. For while I was saying happy. Okay, let's bring the rascal in. Okay, here we go. Yembele, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. How you doing, big boy?
I'm still steaming. I'm still steaming.
Mate, I don't think I've seen you as angry as you were last night at Arsenal in a long, long time.
Yeah, I was really vexed yesterday. A lot of things just got on my nerves in that second half, especially. And yeah, I'm not going to be pleasant tonight. I'd probably say stuff that will, get me banned by YouTube, but
Get you banned, get me banned. What's going on here?
It's all the same.
It's all the same. Right, here we go. Happy birthday. Yeah, but he is not 65. I mean, look, I'm glad people actually genuinely believe it. Anthony says, evening, everyone. Tony says, FK, I see you more than my missus. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry to you, Tony. It's concerning. But I kind of love it. Vig says, FK understands we are signing nobody. Welcome to the show. Ampalash says, you're so correct. It was a tough week for me. Yembele, you're starting a new job in a few days' time. You've had some time away. Are you ready? Are you bracing yourself? Have you got your new garms for your new role?
Yeah, I've got everything's done. So my missus very kindly took me out shopping. So yeah, nearly ready, eh?
The sorts of roles that Yembele that one does in retirement. But good luck to you. I'm joking. AFC 777, big up FK, gargantuan grind this week by you, sir. We love you and thank you, my friend. That's lovely. That's really kind of you. It's been really fun. You guys know that I make this content and I really enjoy spending time with you guys. Vic says, happy birthday, Yamin Yamal. Jag says, evening, FK, my bro. Wow, happy retirement, says Ampalash. Okay. All right, just for the record, he's not actually retiring. Let's bring in the third bandit, Wayne Bele. How are you, my man? Good day, good week.
I'm really happy because Yem is miserable.
He's so miserable, Wayne. Honestly, I mean, he was dropping the F-bomb in the restaurant and everything after the game for a meal. He's talking to literally anyone that he could lay eyes on. He was talking and he was F-bombing and cursing about Arsenal.
Well, I love the fact that the 65 has caught on because I started that with your birthday, and everyone in the comments of that video said, "There's no way FK 60." Drop the skincare routine, FK.
I tell you, listen, no one's even mentioned skincare routine for Yembele. But yeah, 65 today. What a wonderful day. What did you do today, Yem?
It was a bit quiet because obviously I want to celebrate my daughter.
He punched his desk.
There's a hole in his wall, a Yemen fist-shaped hole.
No, I got a Victor Gyökeres poster, burned it, and
that's a bit strong. But okay, that's the tone of this show.
It's pretty quiet because my daughter's in school, so we'll do something this weekend with her just to celebrate.
Good. Ayo, Friday Night Lounge. Yes, we are here. Am I late? No. Country Budmon, you are in time, and we're just starting. We're just ribbing Yembele for his 65th birthday. Paul James in with the serious chat straight away. Evening all. We were rubbish. Liverpool were rubbish with no shots on target. A massive chance to really stretch out our lead. I left the Emirates feeling cheated. Ooh. Country Budmon says, evening all. Yembele is nodding in agreement. He is not happy. Tony says, FK, it was my 93rd birthday today. I don't know if that's true, but if that is a phenomenal innings. And I'm so glad that you're watching. You can't 93? Genuinely? That's amazing. Let me know if that's true. Yem was fuming with Gyökeres, wasn't he? He absolutely was. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Yembele, happy birthday. Wembele, welcome. Really good to have you guys on board. Lots to talk about tonight. We will dissect last night's performance. Not the best result, obviously, but a really poor performance from Arsenal. I really can't quite put my finger on why we were so passive and soft, and I'm sure you guys have got a lot to say. People are piling on Victor Gyökeres. Want to get your thoughts on that and how we can fix it, and are we top, despite his form? Are we top because of his form? I don't know. Want to get your thoughts. The transfer window is open. Semenyo has signed for City. He's been pictured with the Yaya Toure shirt at Manchester City. He looks a formidable signing, and of course Mark Guehi is next on the list apparently. Might we move? I don't know. And then of course we've got Portsmouth. We are away at Portsmouth on the south coast on Sunday. It'll be interesting to get your thoughts about who might play and how seriously you want us to take this competition. Wally is in the house. Excuse me. Evening, chaps. What abomination of snacks is Yem going to traumatize us with tonight? Do you know what? Let's go straight there. Wally, it's his birthday. Happy 65 to him today. And because the birthday boy is here, you go first, Jim. What you got for us tonight?
In the spirit of my birthday, I brought some of my birthday cake.
Ooh, and details of the cake, please. Toppings and filling.
It is a Gale's lemon drizzle cake.
Mate, do you know what?
Fair play.
I rate you for that. I cannot knock you. It took you 65 years, but I cannot.
We got there in the end. We got there in the end.
That's tremendous.
He only has a good snack. He only has a good snack because someone else bought it for him. That's why.
Very true. I bet your missus has done that. Birthday cake. Yes, indeed. It is his birthday. Let me know, chat, what you are snacking on tonight. It is called Friday night. It is cold outside. You deserve a sweet treat of your choice. So let me know what you guys are snacking on, what you've had for dinner. You know the drill. Snack check. Wembele, what you got for us tonight? You still on some sort of New Year's resolution health kick type thing? Is it grapes 2.0?
No, I have gone savoury tonight. I've got some sweet chili sunbites.
Oh, do you know what? They're so good.
So good.
They're so good, and they're on special offer at Tesco.
Yeah. And Sainsbury's. And Sainsbury's.
Nice.
So, yeah. If you got the Nectar card.
If you got the club card, yeah, exactly. Touche. Karen says that sounds nice to Yembele's lemon cake. Are you drinking tea with it, Yem?
No, you know me. I don't drink tea.
I know. That's where you let yourself down. That's where you let the down.
Where's your mug?
Oh, I've got the mug. The mug is around. Don't worry, I got my mug.
Could have had some latte. You're pointing at yourself. Could have had some latte in it.
He doesn't drink. He doesn't drink tea or coffee. Can you believe that?
Well, to be fair, I don't either. So.
What?
Yeah.
Hang on. 2 of the 3 of us on a late night lounge on Latte firm don't drink coffee or tea. You guys need to find a new sport. Karen, it is nice, and if that was me, I'd be having tea. Dave says it's good to see FK and Wayne show respect to their elders. I love that a lot. He says he's having a cream-filled gulab jamun. Oh, wow, you got great taste, Dave. Sensational. Vic says
hold on. Wait.
Yeah, go on.
Where's it from?
Oh, yeah, where's it from, Dave? Come on, Dave, give us the deets. Vic says he's having trail mix. Trail mix?
It's like a mix, berry mix, like nuts.
Berry mix?
No, nuts, dried fruit, all that kind of stuff,
CM's burner. I don't know. Vigs, I enjoy dried nuts and fruit. Actually, I guess it's healthy. Go for it. My snack check tonight, giant Watsits, mate. Do you know what? Giant Watsits just hit different. I mean, I love Wotsits. You guys know, right? But giant ones, mate, they're absolutely
The texture is
sensational. That
just
tremendous.
supreme,
I know,
isn't it?
they've nailed that. What a stupendous baked good. Absolutely dramatic. Oh, just brilliant. Whole milk always astounds me how anybody cannot drink tea. Utter woke nonsense. Yeah, you tell them whole milk. Whole milk as well. I love that. Manny Snack Check says, had a goo strawberry cheesecake with a cup of tea. It was poor. Strawberry cheesecake. Yeah, you got to be in the mood for it. Yeah, chocolate cheesecake you can have at any time, but that's what's happening. Anthony says, is any cake officially birthday cake when it's your birthday? Is that the rules? We take that.
As long as there's a candle in it.
Indeed. Tava Ruiz, haven't seen you for a while, says, good evening all. Come on, you Gunners. We'll bounce back and we'll be crowned champions. And Karen is not happy. She's as upset as you are, but about completely different things, about etiquette. This is scandalous. Get them some tea. Right, my snack check before it gets cold. Tonight, I have got a sesame toasted bagel with peanut butter. I just felt like something a little bit sort of Moorish and warm.
Which
and,
peanut butter though? Which
Whole
brand?
Earth Crunchy, of course.
Very good.
Whole Earth Crunchy M&S sesame seeded bun on special offer.
Oh,
So managed that, not bun, bagel, and whacked it in the toaster. And it's a lukewarm now, so I'm going to enjoy that. And also to wash it down, ladies and gents, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but Fanta have got a raspberry flavored Fanta. And I saw it in the shop. I'm not going to drink it all because I don't normally like fizzy drinks unless it's Pepsi Max, but I'm gonna try it. Raspberry, have you had it, Yim?
No, I haven't, but I've seen it. There's so many of them. You know, like if you go to Bossman, I know where you went. Bossman.
It's weirdly see-through. No, it's Tesco's, mate. Tesco's meal deal.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, a little meal deal hack, right? I think I told Wayne this. Every time you go for a meal deal, you always get like a smoothie or a coffee drink or a fizzy drink, and you just bring them home. Don't have them, obviously, because they're grossly unhealthy. Like you bring them home, keep them in the fridge, and when people come around, wait, which one of my Fanta bottles do you want? Which one of my Pepsi Maxes do you want? It's great. Builders come around, mate. Take your pick. It's fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna try this now because I've been staring at it. Damn,
he's going to try it, then put it in the fridge, and then give it to the builders.
What is it with bottles and lids that don't come off these days? Right. Ooh, that doesn't smell too good.
Is it going to be like that fruit punch that we got at the restaurant last week? Oh,
that's rank. That's not nice. Fanta, what are you doing? Raspberry flavor. Nah, not for me. Yeah, I'm gonna seal that up and give it to some builder who doesn't work.
Hang on. Can we address what DJ D10 has just put in the chat, please?
Let's have a look. Ampalash says Ambala is the place. I think that's what Dave, unless he's saying to Dave, that's what he needs to do. Right, DJ D10, where are you? Where are you, brother? So I Googled Gulab Jamun. It's basically just
that's not the message I was talking about.
To the recipe. Okay, let's scroll down a little touch more. You guys are far ahead. Was on the news today that Red Bull is now the most popular meal deal drink.
What on earth is going on there? I don't think I've ever bought a Red Bull with my meal deal.
Well, let me tell you, Wayne, I had Red Bull once in my life, and it sent me off my fucking head. Well, on
the motorway, I nearly died,
mate.
I nearly died.
You know what? So basically, this is the story, right? We stayed up to watch Ricky Hatton fight, and it was a Ricky Hatton Mayweather fight. And the very next day, Arsenal were away to Middlesbrough, and dipshit over here was the designated driver. So I've got him and another mate in the car, 600-mile round trip. On the way back, mate, I'm falling asleep going across the lanes, right? And like Yem's like, wake up, we're gonna die. And I was like, no, let's stop somewhere. Let me get some fresh air. And Yem bought me a Red Bull. I was like, what is this? I must have taken not even like 2-3 sips, Yem.
Yeah, it was pretty small.
I was buzzing that journey home. I was singing, I was raving, honestly, I've never had anything like it. And I mean, it gave. What do they say? It gives you wings, mate. It gave me another life. It was wild, man. I've never touched it since, and it's really bad for your tummy as well. Too many people drink Red Bull like early in the mornings. Energy drinks, monster drinks. Is that what they're called?
Monsters, even monsters 10 times worse.
Don't know how they do it. Danny's having cinnamon covered pretzel sticks, cheddar and chili chutney crisps with a glass of Ribena. Paul James. I doff my cap. Cheddar and chili chutney crisps. Elite alliteration for starters. And secondly, it just sounds a tremendous delight. And with a glass of Ribena as well. You're so cultured. Tony says dog biscuits. But feeling rough. I love that. I love that. Has to be crunchy peanut butter, of course. Smooth peanut butter dessert belongs in the bin. Tava Ruiz says FK feeling like 2016 future sensational. I don't even know what that means, but yep, let's take that. And Ampala says, damn, I don't know how people have Red Bull daily. I know it's so bad for you. Right, we're 15 minutes in. That is the normal chat. If you are tuning in for the first time wondering, what the hell are these guys talking about on this Friday night? I thought this was Arsenal content. It is, but we just catch up. We like to engage in the chat. There's not many channels that will engage in the chat so actively. We like that. We enjoy it. And it's always good to catch up with these guys and be let down by Yemen's snack. Right, let's talk about football. Let's talk about what's been happening. Yeah, we're going to get into obviously your mood in sort of shortly, but let's bring in the slides. So first up, just a quick shout out. Wayne, I'm going to let you do this, my brother, because I have done this in the last couple of shows, and I'm going to let you do this because you guys did such a great job. Tell us.
Yeah, obviously, for those that haven't seen it, we've released a special birthday surprise video in the studio with all of the guys there. We took that picture. So yeah, there's an hour and 45 minutes, 47 minutes, I think it is, birthday special. But as part of that special, there are a few giveaways for the Latte Firm viewers, Latte Firm listeners. So if you head over to the video on the YouTube feed and drop a special keyword that I'm not going to give it away. FK might say it at some point during the show. But if you go and watch the video, there's a special keyword giveaway, and you could win yourself one of those beautiful Latte Firm mugs that have gone down very popular with viewers of the channel. And yeah, if you put that keyword in the comments, you'll be entered into a giveaway, which I think next week we'll do a draw for the giveaway for the mugs. And also, if you're a member of Patreon, there's a separate giveaway. So if you're not a member of Patreon, consider joining the Patreon group. FK can tell you more about Patreon, but there are 3 prints to give away if you are a member of the Patreon as well. So if you join the Patreon, you could be entered into 4 giveaways. One for one of the prints for yourself, and also separately for the mug as well.
Beautifully articulated. I love that. I've just realized why peanut butter is not a good idea as a host of a channel. It dries out your mouth. Very, very difficult to eat. Yeah, this was a great sort of experience for me. The boys surprised me, as you guys know. Went into a recording studio and just talked about the growth of my channel and what we've been doing, and sort of Arsenal content as well. It's now live on the channel feed. So many of you have watched it. So many of you have left really kind messages. Do type that single word that you guys all know that I love into the comments, and you'll be in the hat for a mug. Who doesn't want a Latte Firm mug? Let's move on to speaking of birthdays. 65 today. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at that smile. He's finally smiling. Look, there he is, Wayne Yembele, having the time of his life with Gunnosaurus, doing a bit of modelling. The new Arsenal merch there in the middle.
He had a Red Bull in that other picture next to him.
This guy always falls asleep. Now, Yem knows, right? Every party that we go to, every family invitation that we go to, when he comes around my gaff just watching football, wherever he sits, he just dozes off. The man is like, he's unreal. Like, he just, like, there could be 20 people having a conversation and Geezer's just in the corner having a nap. I got so many photos. And then, I mean, the guy's unhinged. Look at him having the time of his life on a swing in the middle of the forest there. Just, he's got his wellies on. Who doesn't? He loves his food. That was us at Cafe Caribbean in Loughton. Unbelievable Caribbean food. The geezer can't park to save his life. I mean, look, he's reversed his car onto my lawn, man. Look at that.
And looking good while doing it. Looking good while doing it.
He's got his sunglasses on. And there's us having the time of our life on a roller coaster at what? Old McDonald's Farm in Chelmsford. Is that right? Is that
what we do, isn't it? We have
That's what we do. It's how we do, baby. That's how we do. But listen, Yem, on a serious note, what a fantastic person you are, man. I've known you my whole life. There's pictures of me as a newborn and you as a 1-year-old sort of like next to each other. Our mothers obviously were good friends in their childhood. To have known you for all these years, man, proper privilege. You're a top guy. Sometimes a little bit special, but you're a top guy. And hey, I love you, man. And I wish you all the very best in the years to come, and your channel and your new job. He's not really 65 people. He's 52. So I couldn't keep a straight face. But no, honestly, man, it's been a pleasure to know you and to experience everything that we've done in all our lives, man. You know, it's proper. You know, it's real. So happy
thank you
birthday,
very much.
big man.
I've got a little tear. If my eyes weren't so dry today, I'd have a little tear going down it at the moment.
It's because he's
Now-
been crying about Arsenal all day.
Now
Oh,
swear.
honestly.
Now it's time to swear. Yeah. Now that's
Oh.
out of the way.
Yeah, get it all that system. Get all the emotion out of the system because I'm about to go nuclear. Nuclear.
That's right. Happy birthday, Unks. That is exactly the tone of the show. It is Yembele's 65th birthday. Happy retirement. And obviously everyone is here live on Latte Firm. There's a little special thing, man. And I hope
Nice words from your carer.
you guys.
That is actually really good.
That is good. Country Bud says memories like these are priceless, lads. Yeah, we've known each other literally.
This isn't even half. This is even a fraction.
It's not even 1% of the stuff that we've been through. Right, let's move away and let's talk about Arsenal. Let's start with a positive. Let's talk about our son, Bukayo Saka. He is rumoured to be closing in on a new long-term deal at Arsenal, which will make him probably the highest paid player at the club at circa £300,000 a week. Who cares about the money? This is fantastic news, Wayne. Our star boy, star man, signing, staying, secured. How do you feel?
I'm over the moon with it. Everyone loves him. Everyone adores him. Everyone wants him to go down as a legend at this club. And hopefully this new contract puts him just another step closer to it because he's already on the path to that. He just needs the trophies to go alongside it. Hopefully that obviously starts this season. I'm now hoping that, listen, I don't think there was ever sort of any clouds or question marks over him signing. I don't think any Arsenal fan ever believed that Saka was going to leave. But I hope now that it's all basically official and with Ornstein and pretty much announced it, let's see those performances get up a little bit now, because there are some times where you should maybe expect a little bit more of him. He has disappointing games when we all know he is one of the world's very, very best. And we know that he's capable of showing it every single week. And yeah, I think just the fact that we're able to see that now for another 4 or 5 years and hopefully for the rest of his career is just exciting for all Arsenal fans. So listen, again, like we said a couple of weeks ago, I'm ready to put him in conversations he probably doesn't deserve to be in with just one Premier League title. If he wins the Premier League this year, I'm going to be putting him up there with some of the very, very best. And that's just because of how much I love this guy and how much he means to us as a fan base. I just want to see him with those trophies. I want to see him with those medals because he deserves it.
I want to see him with the medals because I do think he deserves it. But I have to say, I typically go against the grain when people say, do you know what? All he lacks is a trophy just to prove that he's world class. I think you can be top draw without winning honours. Sometimes it just doesn't happen for you. You might be at the wrong club at the wrong time or whatever. I think he's absolutely extraordinary, this boy. All the long-term viewers of this channel, we've been going, it's our 4th season now. You guys know how much we adore him, how much we, love him. And just, what can I say? He just run out of superlatives. Like he's a phenomenal footballer. I think his output in terms of goals and assists, we've seen a little bit of a dip, but he's had continuous football for years now. And I hope that he's, gets back to his best for the second half of the season. Of course, the horrific injury that he suffered last year, it does take a bit of time. Glad we have Noni sort of waiting in the wings and maybe some sort of younger players. But this is a guy, who is entering peak years. If he can stay fit, the impact he's already had at Arsenal Football Club, but the impact he might still have at Arsenal Football Club is gargantuan. Your thoughts, Yem?
Well, I think most of the articles that have been put out today have tagged him as, in American term, the franchise player. But for those who don't know it, obviously it means, that focal point of the organization, in this case, Arsenal. In American terms, the franchise player is your key player, the one who, is the face of your team. And that he's very much the face of Arsenal. We have some very good players, excellent players. But Bukayo Saka is universally applauded, appreciated. Everyone calls him Star Boy, our son, whatever there are multiple names for him. But everyone loves him. Everyone knows how much he means to the team. He's rightly will be the highest earner at the club because I think without Bukayo Saka, we wouldn't be where we are today in terms of we are at the top of the Premier League. We are gunning for the major trophies. He put us on his back for a year on his own to get us to where we are now. as you said, his performances have dipped slightly, and I think that's natural. You will never have a player who will always have top level seasons as season after season after season. It's not possible given the rigor of sport. But he's consistent. He is consistent generally. Goals, assists. This season, I think again he needs to start putting in a bit more because we need him now at this point in the season. I'm glad, as you said, Noni Madueke is there because we need someone to rotate him. It's been a thing for years. But if he can do what he was doing at the start of last season, where he was literally assisting and scoring every game, that title will be ours because when he's on form, there's very few better than him. The whole story of Lamine Yamal versus Saka, etc., etc. Cole Palmer, Cole Palmer is rightly applauded, very good player. But if you look at the raw stats, it doesn't even compare. That's the problem that people have, that the eye test is always, Cole Palmer scores amazing goals. Saka does not do that. But what Saka does is assists, goals, creating space, creating problems for other opposition. That's what he's done, and he's done it for years. People keep forgetting how many years he's spent, at top flight. He came in as a 17-year-old. It's mad how many games he's had, and he's still so young. What I think he's done very well, actually, is also managed his body very well. Apart from the horrific injury, really manages his body well. Very rarely is he injured for a long period. Last year was an exception, but he's always available. Mikel Arteta, we all know, trusts him implicitly because he played him till he was dropping dead. So really happy with this deal. We're getting him at his peak years, and it aligns with what we've done with the other players, which is William Saliba, Gabriel to come. Hopefully Declan Rice, Yuri Timber. You tie down the best players because we are a big club, and you don't do what we used to do, which is obviously wait till the final year and then try and do a deal. So very happy with this one.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, look, I think all Arsenal fans are happy. Well, I say all. When needed says he's not improved in years. Surely not. Surely not. Come on, man. You don't mean that. Terence says no more 100k performances. Need 300k ones. I think, well, maybe the team does, but this is a guy who I think you say, yeah, absolutely rightly, carried us at such a young age and has stuck through all the difficult moments, all the tough years, has played, sort of left back, right wing. That transition's been phenomenal. He's grown into a fine young man and such a great representative of Arsenal Football Club, has everything about our class and sort of tradition and values flowing through his veins. So proud of him every time I see him play. Always smile when I see him score. Get nervous every time he lines up for a penalty. Like, there is a deep-rooted emotional connection that we all have with this guy, and we want nothing but Bukayo Saka's hands around that trophy at the end of the season. Any trophy, I know that, I recognize that, but the fact that this guy has committed his potentially best years of his career that are ahead of him to our club is phenomenal. That is exactly all we want. That is what we craved. It is a great move and a great sort of moment for the club. And I think it's a moment and a signing that we should celebrate. And one or two of the sort of cynics amongst us in the chat, Arsenal know when to release these sorts of stories. I get it. It's not been the best sort of 24 hours for us, but it's a great story. And it doesn't matter when it would have been released. It feels immense.
One little tidbit that always staggers me. England. How many right wingers have they tried to rotate to actually, they've Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, all the... Apart from Noni Madueke, Bukayo Saka is England's right winger. He is the one. Every time someone tries, some new flavour comes along, doesn't do the job. Bukayo Saka does. At England level as well, he is absolutely the man as well. He's on a par with Harry Kane, etc. in terms of output, in terms of when you're talking about the spine of the team, Declan Rice, Jordan Pickford, Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka. There is no but about it. There is, Phil Foden, he's been amazing and all that. Nah, he hasn't got the levels that Bukayo Saka delivers. That's just proven on the international stage as well. Phenomenal footballer, just, delivers every time.
He does. He's a phenomenal player. What more can we say about him? And this is the best thing to sort of end this segment on. Country Budman says, I can see Saka being a one-club player. I mean, that's just amazing. And it's so rare in modern times, DJ D10 says. Absolutely spot on. Bukayo Saka, love him, and so pleased. Let's just, before we talk about sort of FA Cup and last night, very quickly focus our attention on some transfer news, transfer speculation. So first up, Antoine Semenyo finally gets his move to Manchester City, 60 odd million quid, with a sell-on clause. Anyway, either someone knows something and they're corrupt, or City are just a tin pot club. But he has taken number 42, Yaya Touré's number, the first player to do that since Yaya Touré left the club. We all thought Mark Guéhi was going to go to City, and he probably still will do. But John Cross sliding in at the back post, reinforced by David Ornstein. Arsenal are interested in the Crystal Palace defender, Crystal Palace skipper. So, Wayne, bringing you back into the chat, Semenyo, we've been talking about it for a few days. It was a player that I think all talked about how we could have sort of done with him at the start of the season. He's finally gone to City. Is he going to be the difference maker for them this season?
No, I don't. I think he's a quality player, and I think he'll add to what City have at the moment. But I don't really think he's anything too different to what they already have. He just kind of adds on top of it. I mean, when you think of his best performances, they're on the left-hand side. He's a better player than Doku, but not much big enough of a gap to say he's going to be the difference. The difference maker really this season for Man City is always going to be Haaland. And even having Semenyo there, it doesn't solve their defensive issues. It doesn't solve the injuries at the back. It doesn't solve the lack of quality at the back. It doesn't solve the potential, like Rodri, lack of leg situation in midfield. So, look, he'll always give them a bit of a better chance to win more games because he has that quality. But I don't know if it's enough to say he's going to make the difference. But he will certainly help them to get a little bit either closer or just be a bit more consistent in front of goal.
I think he's going to be massive for them, man. I agree with you. I don't think he sort of changes their defensive troubles. I think he sort of papers over the cracks. But I think he's a far superior player to Jeremy Doku, who's been really impressive this season. I think the guy being sort of, both-footed, genuinely, such an aggressive runner at his fullback, physically a specimen. His power, his pace, he's big. He'll run through you, if not around you. And he's a great finisher. And he's seen some of the goals. If you look at the sort of catalogue of goals in all the comps that are going around, I think he's the real deal. He's the player that I would have loved at Arsenal. It's a real shame that we're sort of stacked, I guess. But I think he's going to make a big difference. Yem, closing thoughts on Semenyo, and bring us into the chat about Mark Guéhi. I mean, City are linked, but Arsenal, as Arsenal fans are saying in the chat, they're confident that it might actually be him in the red and white. As I think Indy says, the Ministry of Defence, trademark, could have a new member. What are you saying, Yem?
No, on Semenyo, it's a good signing. I find it staggering that no one is talking about £420 million spent in 2 windows. It's crazy in terms of no one. We all know why, but it is what it is. But he's a phenomenal player, really good. But as you both said, he adds to their already stacked attack. They'll probably get rid of one of Savinho, Bob, etc. But their problems are obviously at the back, and that's where the biggest problem is, because obviously you need to get quality, and that leads us into the conversation about the next player, which is Mark Guéhi. I would be very surprised if Mark Guéhi moves in this window. It just doesn't make financial sense unless City do what City do, and they offer us a staggering contract. But if they do that, then fair play. It's par for the course for them. But if you're in Mark Guéhi's position, why would you do that and not wait till the summer when you're going to get an absolutely massive signing on fee? You have the pick of every club in Europe, and I mean every club, because everyone's looking for a quality defender, and he's a quality defender. In terms of Arsenal, he would be a fantastic addition, but I'm sure, especially if he does really well at the World Cup, which I'm sure he will do. He's such a good player. I can't see him going to somewhere where there is already a guaranteed starter in situ. And in that case, in our case, it's Gabriel, because Gabriel obviously not only defensively but offensively is such a massive part of our game. If we could get him, it's a phenomenal piece of business because you're going to get absolute quality replacement. And obviously, defensively, we're struggling now again because obviously we've just lost our left back. I just don't see. I can't for the life of me see it at the moment. I hope I'm wrong because it's, again, as I said, quality player. I just think that to me, it screams of Real Madrid. I don't know if that's any truth in that. Real Madrid, who have got defensive issues because obviously David Alaba is leaving. City, obvious, but again, once City get their full complement back, is he going to start over, some of their players? Maybe. So maybe they've got guarantees there. He's got the pick. He will, he will get an amazing fee, and he'll elevate himself up a level. Whether it's Liverpool as well, because Liverpool obviously need him, and they didn't get him at the last minute. I just don't see it happening this window. I think summer is likely.
I kind of hope he stays at Palace this window. Not because I don't think we've not got the money to buy him. I just don't think we'd buy him this window, and I think that helps us out because I don't want City getting him. And obviously, we all want that sort of Arsene Wenger Sol-esque walk out from Colney to face the media. That would be amazing. Arteta and Guehi in a press conference. But listen, he's a top player. Gabriel Magalhaes, fine player for us, but 29 next season. Does have the odd injury every now and again. Maybe this is sensible succession planning. I mean, how many times, Yem, are you going to get a chance to go out and get a full England international centre-back on a free, who is Premier League proven, London settled. He is ready. One of the, and I say this with the greatest respect, Bible brothers. Let's go. I mean, everything about this just seems so perfect. And he's got his mate, Ebere Eze, at the club already. I mean, it could be fantastic. Just a couple of things on Semenyo. Actually, there was a comment here about Nkapie, and I did wonder this myself recently, but I looked into it, and I think it is an obligation to buy.
No, it's not an obligation. It's not an obligation because it's an obligation all but actual on paper, because the actual calculation, if we had put it as an obligation, it would hit our books this year. By putting it as an option, it's kind of like a gentleman's agreement type thing where we've said to Bayer, you can trigger it at any point, but it will go into our next year's accounts. That's how it's been done. That's why it's such a clever thing, because it goes into next year's accounts, but it's going to be done anyway.
Okay, so if they trigger it, which they will, because I mean, it's only in two ways. One way is going to go. If he plays well, we're going to buy him.
Which he has done.
If he doesn't play well, they're going to trigger it, and we're going to keep him.
But he has done. So it's going to be. He's been a good buy. I mean, look what's happened now, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. But it's going to happen. It wasn't done just for the sake of a one season loan for that kind of quality player.
Let's see what happens. DJ D10 says, I've only seen Doku really good in one game, while Semenyo is just a magnificent player every week. Paul James, sorry, Wayne, to cover you temporarily, says, Mark Gay's best friends in football are Noni, Madueke, and Eze. Arteta is apparently really persuasive when he wants a player. Look like the Arsenal is assembling an unbeatable squad, and Gay would be a good fit. He would lose his England spot if he joins, because he won't be getting a game unless Saliba or Gabriel get injured, which obviously happens, Zuti. We know that, and it is about having a good squad. People just reminiscing about Sol. Big Sol. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? What a day that was, Jem. That's another memory that we had. Right, let's move away from transfer window stuff. There's still 21, 22 days to go in this window. Arsenal may or may not act. Who knows? Last night, Wayne, as someone who sits in the club level, you would have had the perfect view of this. What did you make of the pre-match build-up? It was a carrier bag, which we were all asked to sort of hover over our heads. The fireworks were a delight. There's some amazing photography going around of the sort of pre-match atmosphere. But I guess the question here is, what was your mood going into the game? And how did Arsenal sort of elevate the pre-match sort of, display and kickoff, and then lead us into the conversation about how the game sort of went?
I was excited for it. I was glad that we acknowledge the fact that we're playing at home against the champions, whether or not you think Liverpool have had a good or a bad season. First of all, they're still a rival, and secondly, it's still a big game. We're trying to win the title. They're the current holding champions. We gave them the respect off the pitch and as a fixture that I feel like they deserved. And I think it was as well done as it was at the Real Madrid game last season. And obviously, we then had the embarrassment of the PSG game after that. But I think that going back to something like this was simple but very, very effective. And I'm glad that the stadium was filled before all of this sort of happened. And I'm glad that it came across the way it did, because it really did add to the atmosphere. I've seen comments on social media about how the atmosphere was bad in the stadium. I don't genuinely know what they're talking about. It wasn't bad at all for the vast majority, at least of the first half. Second half, everyone started to get a bit jittery because we weren't on top. We were being dominated possession wise. We weren't performing to our capability, but everyone was still loud and behind all of the players in that second half. And we were getting frustrated for them. We were getting frustrated with them, but it wasn't quiet. It's been much worse at the Emirates atmosphere wise. In terms of the game, look, you're always nervous, or I'm always nervous when it comes to a big game. But I trusted us, and I believed that this year it would be maybe a little bit different. But I think that the second half performance in particular was a bit cowardly. I think it was really disappointing from everyone involved, the players on the pitch, the coaching staff on the side, the way that we set up, the lack of intent off the bench, stuff like that. I thought it was cowardly across the board in that second half. And I also think that we looked shattered after a physical and a draining Christmas and New Year's period. Obviously, we've had 4 games in 12 days or whatever it is, and I know we had a little bit of extra rest coming into this Liverpool game, but you could see in that second half, Declan Rice didn't look like he could run. Like, he looked like, as soon as he came up for the second half, he looked like he was out of breath. And it's not to excuse the performance. The performance was terrible in that second half. We just looked incredibly leggy. And I think it all caught up with us. And listen, to come away with a point is annoying, it's disappointing, but I guess as people have said in football for years, if you're not going to win a big game, just don't lose it. I'm not a huge fan of that mentality, but I can understand it in this case.
Let's bring in the birthday boy, because like I said at the start of the show, sort of joking about it, but serious point, you were very, very angry about yesterday's performance and result. Obviously, I think it's fair to say the three of us went into the game with a lot of excitement and a lot of hope and a lot of optimism. I mean, Liverpool depleted. No Alex Isak, no Mo Salah, no Hugo Ekitike. They are, of course, current champions, as we were reminded by Dominic Szoboszlai in the build-up to the game. But yeah, just sort of summarize the reasons as to why you're so disappointed with last night.
No, Wayne put some of the points and some of my angst correctly. You know, it was a weak performance, especially the second half. But that first half is indicative of what we've done a lot of the season, which is overplay, overdo it, and not provide, we are low volume, big chance creators, which is terrible considering how much possession we have. And I'm getting frustrated at the lack of, true attacking chances that we create, considering the domination that we have. And this is part of Arteta's philosophy. I get that he wants to control the game rather than, create big chances that will get you, a high volume of big chances. But yesterday was just so indicative of what can happen with us. First half, we had all the possession, but did we really create much? No. And it was really bad. And then Liverpool break and they look threatening. Now, they didn't get any chances they didn't have any shots on goal. But every time they came forward, it looked like it was going to be, we were nervous. And they looked like they could, if they had a striker, who knows what would have happened, actually, because they broke quickly. They seemed to bypass us really easily at points. But the second half, there is no justification. I know Wayne said they were tired, but if Declan Rice is not fit, and I know it's a bigger game, Marino, get him on, because then you're carrying a passenger. We're already carrying one passenger up front, and we'll get into him. But if you're carrying Declan Rice is not effective at all. And yesterday he wasn't at all. He looked spent, as Wayne really put it. But it was just the cowardliness of the performance. There's lack of anything. No fight in the second balls. No drive to get forward. No chances again. It just felt like it was weak, lethargic, and we didn't even fight for it. This was the game. Every one of us. Now, I didn't think that we were going to batter Liverpool, but at least thought we were going to stamp our authority and show why we're at the top. Liverpool depleted is something we haven't had. We've had a full squad. Every person you talk to, we should be doing reasonably well. get the 3 points and extend that lead at the top, because this is the point. These are the points where you go, okay, they've taken the scruff of the neck of the title race. Now we're 6 points ahead. Great. It just felt to me like this was like a point where you go, okay, Arsenal have really stamped their authority on the race. They're going to, march ahead. Like Liverpool did last season. They were, relentless at points. But we didn't do that. Again, it was really timid. They could have won it, again, through a free kick. It was really annoying. If I'm glad it didn't happen, because I would have lost my mind then. But there were just certain elements of the game just really didn't sit well with me, and I was getting annoyed. I thought Ødegaard was awful yesterday. One of his worst performances for me in terms of creativity. But again, most of the team were pretty bad anyways throughout. But I just thought Ødegaard, for me, kept coming deep. Didn't need to do that. Zubimendi wasn't great either, and he's looking really tired. It just felt like it was, we didn't want this enough. And maybe I'm wrong, but maybe tiredness was a factor. Yes, we've had an intense period, but Liverpool have similarly as well. And look at them. They're getting to the second balls. They were still fighting us hard. If they had a striker, as I said, what could have happened? That's the issue. That I find.
If they had a striker, they wouldn't have played how they played. They frustrated us because they didn't have a striker. They were able to sit back. Wirtz and Szoboszlai did a great job of denying the ball to both Zubimendi and Rice in that first half. They were allowing Gabriel to just step forward with the ball and Saliba to be the creative. And Saliba actually did a decent job of it in that first half, to be fair. In the second half, you would have liked him to be. He was one of the ones I was disappointed with, to not be a little bit more brave with passing it forward. But if they had a striker, we probably have a better chance of winning. Is the honest answer?
No, maybe
they would be a little bit more open, and they wouldn't play the way that they played.
But even then, Wayne, if you're at home with the full squad, I just thought we would have something more about us, more creativity, more oomph. First half, again, we were dominant in ball possession, but nothing to show for it. It was so bland and so. It says what it usually is with Arsenal: side to side, probe. No forward movement, no vertical passes. It's all to the side. Hope for Saka, Saka and inshallah. That's what was really frustrating again. That we seem to go back to this well of, if it's not working, it'll be Ødegaard out to Saka and keep trying that little thing. And it just felt like when we come up against the big teams this year, it's always about trying to constrict them. And I understand in most sense, but this game just felt like Liverpool were there for the taking. And I just felt really disappointed that when it came to that kind of crux, and I understand there's tiredness and all this, it just felt an opportunity that we could have shown our title credentials, but title, drive, and we didn't do it. We wilted in the worst way possible. It would have been if we had drawn and put in a good performance, I would have had no issues. I would have said, look, we gave it our best. We absolutely battered Liverpool, and they put in a defensive performance. Fair game. Second half, though, there is no justification for it. I understand there's some tiredness, but there is no justification for that level of performance. The level was well below the Arsenal standard for me.
Here's where I am on the game. I think I went into the game expecting us to put on a show and to brush aside a depleted Liverpool team. And I think Wayne makes a really good point. The fact that they didn't have a natural outlet up top, Isak, Ekitike, Salah, that allowed them to just play the ball about a lot in their sort of defensive third and the middle third, which they did quite well, particularly in that second half. The first half, I thought we started a little bit slow, but we grew into the game and we ended up bossing it in terms of possession. Our passing accuracy was really high. Second half, so after half time, when we all sort of joked in the stadium around, this is what we do. Arteta's going to get them in. He's going to give them a slap, and they're going to come out and they're going to, I think we scored most goals in that first 15 minutes of the second half. But Liverpool completely surprised me and surprised the boys. They just dominated the ball, and their possession went from, sub 40% in the first half to, north of 70% in the second, and their passing accuracy went up to like 91% in the second half. So their ball control retention was immaculate, and they were just pinging it around, and we were second to everything, like loose balls and second phase, and we were chasing shadows at times. And I think DJD10 sort of asked earlier, and I sort of asked at the start. The whole team was off. When you see players like Declan Rice, Zubimendi, not quite at their sort of brilliant lung bursting best, something's not right. And I don't know what the answer is, because it's not a case of we created lots of chances and we just missed them, or we did lots of really good things in defense and the midfield messed it up, or we did loads of good things in the final third but we let in goals at the back. Like, the whole team was off it. And the only way I can sort of rationalize this in my head is, like, we've had such a good season so far, and it's been very, very obviously demanding and intense, and we've won every game bar one at home. Manchester City draw. You're not going to win every game. I get that. You're not going to, brush every team aside, and you're not going to, turn up and play the best football that you do every week. We all have bad days at the office, right? It just so happened that it happened to be last night against Liverpool, and it's further compounded by the fact that Manchester City drew the night before, and it was a chance. It was a chance for us to go 8 points clear. So I'm disappointed by the performance. I can't quite understand why they were so off. I'm hoping it's just the case of, okay, we were a little bit leggy, a little bit tired, a little bit sloppy. Maybe this was just the straw that kind of broke our back in terms of games and the festive period, which 4 wins out of 4. But then I don't also want to overanalyze. Like, the performance was against the current champions, who are depleted, but they were good on the ball. And you have to earn these victories. And there was a time, I think 81, 82 minutes on the clock, when Szoboszlai was lining up another free kick, and I thought, oh God, here we go. And actually, from our view, it looked like it went in. And I just think, you know what? If you can't beat the team, don't lose. Take the point. Dust yourselves down. Don't overanalyze. We don't need to overanalyze every last thing. Just go into the next game. Hopefully now, with the FA Cup, which we're going to talk about into the sort of home straight of tonight's show, is going to mean rotation, is going to mean rest for 2 or 3 players that have been playing a lot of football. And hopefully, the first leg of the League Cup away at the Bridge in the week also kind of maintains that. So, some of these players might get a whole week off now, more than a week off, before we go to Forest. Wayne's shaking his head.
Have you met Arteta?
Well, this is the thing. There was a great chat. I've missed it now because the chat's so active and wonderful. I think it was Jonathan who said, we've got such a good squad. Why is he not making changes sooner? So 60-minute mark rather than sort of 65, 70, 75. Poor Madueke and Eza. They had like 14 minutes to make a change in such a big game. But I'll take your point, yeah. Every player was poor. Every player was poor. Like by our sort of recent standards.
Saliba wasn't. Saliba was the.
Who's he up against? Florian Wirtz. I mean, come on.
No, Saliba had a good game.
You're on mute, Yembele.
Coming forward, Saliba was very good yesterday, but he was given the space to do that.
Okay, before people cane me for that in the chat, when I say we were poor relatively. Like, we were just not at the standards that we've been seeing over the festive period.
A lot of players weren't there. Yeah, the majority of players weren't. That was very, very clear. The
weather, I'm just thinking of Ty on AFTV.
We're not doing that.
It's not that. It was treacherous conditions and all that, but it was a great night for football. I mean, those are the sorts of conditions that you think the likes of Declan Rice would absolutely thrive in playing. It was my favourite football playing conditions.
You can tell. No, but the thing is, you can tell when Declan is injured or is absolutely crackered, because it visibly shows with him. He's got such a good engine usually. And Zubimendi as well, because Zubimendi's passing was ridiculously off yesterday.
Well, look, let's not dwell too much. You were disappointed, and you were disappointed because of this. DJ D10 says, agreed. Saliba went forward looking for something, but there was no movement. Yeah, let's keep the mic on you. Let's talk about this. The pylon has been, big. I mean, we were having our post-match meal in the restaurant, and we were seeing it all on the timeline, right? People are not happy with Vitsi Okerej. I will give my thoughts later, because those of you that have been loyal to the channel know that I've loved this guy, and I've wanted him for so long, and I thought he'd be the real deal. Maybe I've got it wrong. I don't know. Maybe there's still time to rescue it. But Yem, yeah, there you go. The shake of the head says it all. You're not happy, and I think you want to move beyond him. Talk to us.
Get him out of the club. He's not the level. He's not even close to the level. We got it completely wrong. Whoever, either scouting or if it was a Berta overriding decision, whatever the process, we got it completely wrong. Everything about this transfer screams out, he is not at the level. He can't hold the ball. He's a big lad. He can't hold the ball up. How can you not hold the ball up? If you're at this level, the bare minimum, and I'm talking players at the bottom of the league, is that they can hold the ball. The man can't even hold it up properly. He has no explosiveness. He lacks the basic intelligence to move into the box in the normal striker runs way. He is very much, I only move in one direction. Then he engages defenders when he doesn't need to. There is an argument that our midfielders are not finding him, but he's not making the runs, and they're not going to find him. He just doesn't seem to be there. He has not got the pace to get past even the most basic Premier League defenders. And I'm talking about the dross at the bottom. I don't see any green shoots here. And there's a lot of people saying, well, he has elite mentality. You can have all the elite mentality in the world, but physically in the Premier League, if you can't do certain things, you're not going to make it. And he's not going to make it. He will not make it. I'm 100% clear on that now, because I don't see what could improve so drastically that he will find the explosiveness to go past defenders, that he'll find the space to get the shots off. There's no doubting he can finish a ball, because we've seen that, but he can't create the space. His brain doesn't allow him to create the space to get into the position to strike the ball. He just seems to want to engage defenders to look okay. 8 touches. Gabriel Jesus came on in 21. That was in 65 minutes. Gabriel Jesus came on for 21 minutes, had 21 touches. It's not even funny how the level is different compared to our other strikers. And that guy had a double ACL. So you're telling me that a fully fit striker who's had 59 goals in 94 goals in the last 2 years has been outmatched by a double ACL player who can't even match 11 goals. Sorry. He's not, Darwin Nunez was bad, but at least he showed something. This guy doesn't show me anything. He hasn't shown me anything.
Wayne, what's your take, man? I mean, it's painful to hear, because obviously I like the boy and I desperately want it to work for him. But I mean, the evidence and the output would suggest that he's obviously not hit the heights that we wanted him to hit, and he's been terrible.
He's not even climbed the first rung.
Wayne,
I didn't want him to hit heights. I was never a fan of his, really, when we were linked to him. But everyone said we needed a striker. Get Arteta a striker, and he will win you the title. Well, we got him a striker, and we've got a striker now that doesn't have shots. The fact that we've had 21 Premier League games, and in 7 of them, so what's that? A third? That Gyökeres has played, he's not even had a shot. Forget a shot on target, just a shot. This is our number 9. That's simply not good enough. And I've been very critical, and I still remain critical of the way we attack. We're too slow. It's very sluggish. It's very repetitive. It's very robotic. There's no real genius aspect to it. Our attacking play in general is pretty dire. But it's dire with Gyökeres. Is dire without Gyökeres. We don't create enough for him. But when we do create something, he's never there. He's like the only striker in world football, and you watch number 9s and you think, oh, he's got a knack of being in the right place at the right time. He's just always there. When the ball falls to his foot, he's there. Gyökeres is never there. And it doesn't matter whether Saka's cutting it back to the near post and he's not there. The one that really annoyed me was the Declan Rice cross, because he whipped it and it was a beautiful delivery. I don't even care if he went for a diving header or a tap in at the near post and just misses it. At least he's close. At least he's nearby. That annoyed me. But what also annoyed me was in the second half when Madueke cut it back and Jesus is not even in the box. We've got 2 strikers really that are complete polar opposites of each other, and neither of them are ever there when we are in a situation where we might not be creating clear-cut chances, but we've created a half chance, and you want your number 9 to be in the situation to be banging it in the goal. That's what we thought we were signing with Gyökeres, and we haven't got it. And I think the worst stat and the worst thing about him right now is the fact that non-penalty goals, and obviously penalties count, but obviously his all-around contribution, His non-penalty goals and assists as a centre forward for Arsenal in their first 1,000 minutes, he's got 3, which is worse than Marouane Chamakh, Eddie Nketiah, Nicholas Bentner, Welbeck, Giroud, the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Adebayor. I don't even expect him to be in that level of conversation. But Mikel Merino as a striker was giving us more. And he's not a striker. And Mikel Merino was not creating chances simply by himself through magical play, because he's not that kind of player. Look, I hope that Gyökeres goes on and scores at every single game between now and the end of the season. And honestly, if he only scores 1 goal and it's on the final day and that goal wins us the title, I wouldn't care less about the rest of the season. But honestly, long term, it's really not looking good for his prospects. And the fact that Kai has been out for a year, and we already know that Kai, as soon as he's fully fit, is our main striker, is not a good sign.
What can you say to that, man? You both articulated that so well. I mean, I said this on the match reaction video. It's funny, isn't it? When we signed him, he was what we thought was the sort of finished product. 27 years of age, prolific goal scoring record in, albeit a much inferior sort of league. But we were so excited, so thrilled to have an orthodox centre forward joining the club. And we sort of thought to ourselves, right, what's a good return for Gyökeres if he plays 38 games? 30 goals, 25 goals, 20 goals, 15 goals. Last week it was 10 goals. Now it's the work that he does for us and makes space for the wide men. It's been disappointing, and I feel really sad about it, because he's a player that I absolutely wanted Arsenal to get. I remember we were linked with Šeško, and I think I even tweeted, like, fans are dismissing one or the other, but it's like standing in front of a buffet having not eaten for 2 months, and you're deciding between chicken and beef. Like, just get any of them, one of them. Someone will come into this system and score goals. But what I've been really surprised by, his first touch isn't great. His movement, obviously, I don't study the game in that way. I don't sort of watch the trails that strikers leave. I've seen all the goals, and they're all so different. Left foot, right foot, bullets, in the box, 6-yard box, drills from outside the box. But like Gary Lineker's made a lot of it. So many of the pundits, and he just seems to run in straight lines. He doesn't get time to breathe on the ball. You don't get that in the Premier League. Defenders are always snapping away at your heels. Doesn't get shots away. Doesn't even get played that ball through. How many times do we look? Yeah, man. We were talking about this in the stands. How many times does anyone play that sort of slide through pass into a striker's feet? It doesn't happen with Gyökeres. It just goes always out to the right, or always out to the left.
It's
But why
robotic.
would they?
It's like, yeah, because he won't do anything. It's
He'll just lose the ball on his touch. He's just going to lose it.
You see all the finishing videos that Arsenal release when the training sort of clips, right? The guy is unreal, but they don't even give him the chance.
You guys will remember it I think it was in the first half, probably within like the first 10 minutes. The ball came to his feet. He had Konate or Van Dijk at his back, and he tried to lay it back to Ødegaard, and it bounces off his foot above like Ødegaard's chest and has gone out for a throw-in. The minute you see that, you just know that he's going to have a bad game.
The fact is, look, we got duped, and Liverpool got duped with Darwin Núñez. The Portuguese league is I think it was equivalent of League Two, wasn't it? It was classed as being equivalent of League Two. That's why he could dominate. He was physically the biggest player there in terms of physicality, etc., because he's almost like a championship level player. But in the Premier League, against the most basic defenders at every level, he hasn't been able to beat a man. Has he actually been? I don't think he's able to beat a man, has he, at all? I can't remember.
He scored that great goal against, I think it was Forest or Leeds, where he sort of ran
Leeds, but that was about it. But again, that was running across the area. But he hasn't beaten the man properly. He just seems to A, be too bulky, B, lack the physical intensity required to be a elite Premier League striker, or even as Wayne said, the intelligence to make the runs that will make you mad, like Harry Kane used to do. Harry Kane wasn't fast, but he could make the run on the blind side that will get him the goal. He doesn't even do that. When the ball goes into the box, where is he? He's over the other side trying to engage the defender. He always looks like he's floundering, and he is a flounderer. Honestly, Berta, look, by all accounts, Berta was the one who pushed this as hard as he did, and I know he consulted Arteta. And Berta has done a very good job with the rest of the rebuild. But on this one, big L. 60 million. We got ripped off.
Well, I've just put in the chat a live poll. Is Victor Gyökeres finished at Arsenal? I'm just reminiscing about. Do you remember the summer shows? We were so excited, so gassed. How could we get it? How could I get it so wrong? I mean, wow. I mean, I'm like you, Wayne. I'm hoping with 17 games to go, he does something. I mean,
He won't do it against Portsmouth. He won't do it against Portsmouth either. Guarantee you tomorrow. If he starts,
I was just about to say it's a Sunday. I was just about to say, like, if he's low in confidence and low on goals, I mean, he looks like he's been run ragged. To be fair, do you just chuck him in on Sunday, just against lower league opposition to try and get?
No, I don't want to see. First of all, I don't want to see him. Just take him out of the limelight for a little bit. Just give him some time off. Because honestly, scoring against Portsmouth doesn't change anything. All it will kind of prove is that he can score at that level, and Portsmouth are not Premier League level. Like they're bottom of the Championship. It will just kind of prove he's a Championship level striker. Which, yeah, just keep him out. Give him some breathing space. Let Jesus get a start. Hopefully Kai is on the bench. Maybe Kai gets a start. It would be great to see him because he just needs to be taken out of the spotlight for a little bit.
Ryan says, FK, my nan would look a baller in a shooting drill with no defenders around him. Her. Or maybe
thing is, remember Matai Kesman, top scorer in the Dutch league, absolutely banged them in. Came here, looked like a dud. This is the thing. You do not buy, very rarely do these top strikers, and someone put it in the chat, the current Sporting Lisbon, his replacement is doing bits as well. It's a dross league that doesn't show the true nature of what is it elite striker or not. He is not. He's not even close.
Well, DJ D10 says, I'm very doubtful he will make it, but finish in January. Come on. Indy Barge says, I'm disappointed, but feel this is too strong. And John says, wow, the disdain in Yem's voice. Man is done with him.
Just score the goal that wins us the title. No one will care. No one will care. You score us the goal that wins us the title, you will never score again. Like you could never score again, and most of us will be all right with that. But it's not been good enough. Like,
this really is the silver lining. It can't get worse, can it? I mean,
it can. It can.
Oh, it can.
It can.
It can.
He got 8 touches. He's going to have 2 in a game shortly. You know, like
he might not touch the ball ever again. Oh,
honestly.
Yikes. Okay. Let's see what the poll is saying. Where are you in the chat? Jeez. I think I've not. Here it is. I'm going to end the poll. Here we go. Is Victor Gyökeres finished at Arsenal? 67% of you say no. Interesting. 2/3 of you, more than half, think that Victor Gyökeres still has a chance to succeed at Arsenal. That is the side of the fence that I'm on. I mean, I guess I have to. This is all about brand management, right? Until it goes horribly wrong, then I'm going to be deleting a lot of tweets next summer. Fawaz, welcome to the show. Says Gyökeres is a super sub at best when the game is open in this space. I wouldn't mind seeing him coming on as a sub actually in a couple of games where defenders are a little bit tired. Maybe stints out on that left-hand side. He does progress the ball well. We saw all those sort of heat maps at the start. Ryan says, wow, this is savage. You got it wrong because you watched YouTube clips. Yeah, I did, man. I can't believe it. Do you know what? My son adores Victor Gyökeres, and he keeps asking me questions like, Baba, why doesn't Gyökeres score goals? And I'm like, that's so difficult to answer. And now he likes Leo.
Just tell him honestly, because he's rubbish.
Oh, Yembele. Vlad says, wow, where is the faith in Gyökeres coming from? He really hasn't showed us anything to believe. Oh, man.
Something. He hasn't even shown anything. Give me something. Show me something. Show me a touch. Show me a little getting into the box and having a shot. He doesn't even give me a shot. What the heck? There's no shots. He's a striker that can't shoot.
Chrissy says, FK, be proud of your viewers' fan variety. 63% from opposition fans. It's a sensational ratio. Don't you start, Chrissy. Right. Let's move away from the negative vibes. And let's talk about it even more. Jeez, right. This was the headline on the BBC website, by the way, not my headline. Gabriel Martinelli. This has been talked about all day, and Arsenal have been taking hits. It all stems from Arteta, the most evil man in football. Martinelli is a rat. We'll talk about Gary Neville's comments in a second, but the BBC sort of portrayed this as Gabriel Martinelli. Is he, frankly, just an idiot, disregarding a colleague's welfare in a situation like that? Or is it understandable, as The Athletic have sort of highlighted in their article today, by telling us that moment of madness at the Emirates right at the death tells us a lot about modern football in terms of the thirst for success and the desperation and the hate for sort of time wasting and cheating the refs and duping the refs. I mean, was Martinelli just innocently trying to get him off the pitch so he could just get on with the game in a situation where we were going for a win, a couple of minutes left on the clock against the current champions? Wayne, you start on this one. What did you make of it? What have you made of the aftermath?
I think the aftermath has been pretty overblown, to be honest with you, and I don't understand how it's still a talking point nearly 24 hours later.
Sorry, mate. You got to make content, though. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not talking about with Arsenal fans. I'm talking about within media. I can't believe the fact that they've got like whole segments on it. Like if you know, like Ref Watch with Dermot and that the other clowns that kind of talk about refereeing decisions, they were on there saying, well, Martinelli was lucky not to be sent off because there was three decisions there. The fact that he pushed Konate, the fact that he pushed Bradley, and the fact that he threw the ball at Bradley as well. Like, let's just not be stupid. In saying that, though, although Martinelli is probably not, he didn't know. There's no way he knew Bradley was going to be that seriously injured, and no one still knows right now how badly injured Bradley was, but it looks quite serious. Just, it's not necessary. Don't put yourself in a position where, fair enough, there was only 2-3 minutes left, but don't put yourself in a position where you could have been sent off. Like, even if you're just putting your hands on Bradley, you don't know what the referee is. You don't know what the referee is going to do. We've seen people sent off for more stupid incidents than that. You don't know what VAR is going to say. It's just unnecessary. And even if you think that he's wasting time, that's fine. The referee was not going to blow the whistle as soon as you threw the ball in after Conor Bradley was down, injured or not. Even if he didn't get subbed off, the referee was going to go, what was it? There were 4 minutes at a time, 5 minutes at a time. The referee was going to go to like 96, 97 minutes, even if you just left him alone. So I think it was very stupid for Martinelli to get involved, especially with a referee like Anthony Taylor, who wants everything to be about him. Just move away, step aside, and we'll continue the game whether Bradley's wasting time or not. If he doesn't get booked for wasting time, the time is going to be added on at the end of the game regardless. There's just no need to get involved because you're risking being sent off, rightly or wrongly. And we've seen Arsenal players be sent off wrongly for similar situations or like more stupid situations in the past.
Yembele, Dave says it's a complete and utter overreaction. Oops. And Bradley wasn't so injured that he couldn't move himself further onto the pitch. Country Budmon says Sky Sports went too far, asking all their presenters and interviewers to push the narrative. Slot, actually, the most sensible take, says V Vlad. Yeah, Arnie Slot's interview, very, very defensive of Gabby Martinelli. As Anthony says, he backed him up, says all you need to know about Sky Sports, just needed a story because the game was so bad. Yem, your closing thoughts on this before we look ahead to the FA Cup?
Yeah, it's been overblown quite a lot. Look, was it a silly move by Martinelli? Absolutely, because there's no need, as Wayne has put it really well. Could he diagnose that Bradley had a potential leg break? No. If he did, he'd be an amazing doctor, and you sign him up for the NHS straight away because he could be saving lives. But we knew what was going to happen as soon as this kind of incident flared up with Arsenal. It was going to be absolutely massive pile-on because that's what gets views at the moment, and it's all about views, clicks, etc. Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher for years have not had a sensible take. It has always been about what will get me relevancy. In this one, again, what will Sky do to make it relevant and keep the momentum going so that they can keep getting people watching their product? He has apologized and people have moved on. But you know that this will keep coming up and Liverpool fans will keep pushing it because that's what's going to happen. And when we go to Anfield, it will inevitably be part of the focus because Sky will build it up into like a package of stupidity as they usually do. It wasn't the best move. I get where it was coming from because time wasting is a problem at the moment, whether it's the goalkeeper going down, whether it's players, which was happening in this game. Players were going down, complaining to the ref about, I'm injured a little bit. Who was it in the first half? Someone went down. Frimpong. Frimpong went down.
Oh, that was so bad. That dive. Oh my God.
Yeah, but Gabby Martinelli did it as well. Remember, he went down as well. So every player is guilty of it. Time wasting is not a single club problem. It is a universal problem. Goalkeepers go down. All of it happens. What was happening is obviously we were getting frustrated that we weren't making inroads on a game that we should be winning. And Gabriel Martinelli, young lad, got hot-headed and did something that he shouldn't have done. But he has apologized. He's recognized it. Hopefully Conor Bradley is going to be okay and they've accepted it and moved on. That's all over. But it will continue. The diatribe will continue. I'm fully expectant that tomorrow we will see more things about this because that's what happens.
The fact that there's a bigger reaction to a push like that, as opposed to Gary Neville promoting physical violence on a football pitch, is absolutely diabolical. The fact that Gary Neville, and we know as Arsenal fans, even if we're just talking from a biased perspective, what Gary Neville got away with Jose Antonio Reyes was nasty. And no one went there and said, oh, Gary Neville should have been punched in the face. Now, let's say hypothetically, Konate or Van Dijk did go and punch Martinelli in the face. Would Gary Neville have been on commentary like, good, he deserved it? What are we doing? And then for Roy Keane in the studio after the game to say the things that he said after you intentionally broke a player's leg, like, come on, just no one can take that seriously. I'm sorry, it's just absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Gary Neville, again, it was poorly executed, poorly thought out. Maybe it's in the heat of the moment, but also there was a load of players doing it. Jason Cundy did it. We were listening to TalkSport last night. He said that it was along similar lines. This kind of rhetoric of ex-players saying one thing, doing another, and then expecting to be absolved of responsibility. These are personalities who are looked at by kids, by adults, genuinely impressionable people, and to say these kind of things is frankly irresponsible. And Gary Neville actually has been quite irresponsible over a number of years in some of his commentary. So again, he's not going to be stood down because again, he's one of the big names. But there should be a talking to about you should not be saying these things. There's a level to which you go, yes, it was a bad incident, and yes, Conor Bradley was injured, but you are not there to give that kind of viewpoint. It's not acceptable.
DJ D10, I've just sort of stuck this comment up because I think it's a really valid one. It says, I think we should spend a moment noticing how classy Slot was. He's a standout guy, I think. And Arne Slot, of course, coming out in his post-match conference to defend Gabriel Martinelli, suggesting that the wider issue of time wasting in football may have sort of led to that flashpoint at the Emirates so late in the game. He was sort of saying, should I do the Dutch accent? I do look like a slightly tanned Arne Slot. I don't know Gabriel Martinelli, but he comes across as a nice guy, said Slot. That's terrible. I think the problem for him is a problem in general for football. It is that there is so much time wasting and players pretending that they are injured in the final parts of the game. That's pretty good, eh? It's not bad. Anyway, listen, we got the same skincare regime, just in case you guys are wondering. But I think basically Slot's point was that he understands why Martinelli might have tried to do that. Frustration with time wasting in football, particularly in the final parts of the game when you're sort of chasing it. You can sometimes get annoyed. You think the player's time wasting and all you want to do is just get on with the game. He's made, he thinks, an innocent mistake, and you can't expect Gabby Martinelli to think with such sort of clarity in that heat at the moment so late in the game, especially when the fans are just, animated. They're desperate for that sort of win. So I kind of get it. My apologies to anyone from the Netherlands who I've just offended. But there we are. We do have the same hairpiece. It's very good. See, I'll tell you, that's a really solid Slot. There you go. There you go. Another string to my bow, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Right, let's talk about some positive stuff. Okay, let's talk about the FA Cup because that is what's coming up this weekend. And just a tiny reminder that we are still 6 points clear 21 games played, 17 to play. We're not going to start doing the sort of the mental arithmetic right now, but we are in a good place. City have dropped 6 points in 6 days. That shows you just how quickly things can change. And of course, we don't take anything for granted. We take it game by game. It is another fixture etched off, and it's a tough fixture that we've scratched off. So on to the next one. Nottingham Forest away next weekend, after, of course, the 2 games that await for us. First up on Sunday, Portsmouth at Fratton Park. They, of course, I have a lot of your memories of them clapping off Thierry Henry and Big Sol playing in Portsmouth Blues. The FA Cup third round got underway tonight. MK Dons drawing against Oxford. Oxford winning on penalties. Port Vale beating Fleetwood. Preston losing 1-0 at home to Wigan. And Wrexham Nottingham Forest. What a game that was on TNT. 3-3 after extra time. 2-0 up Wrexham were at halftime. Callum Hudson-Odoi getting a couple of goals to rescue Nottingham Forest. It went to penalties, and Arthur Okonkwo, the former Arsenal Academy boy, making 2 top saves to see Wrexham. Ryan Reynolds is Wrexham go through 4-3 on penalties. If we beat Portsmouth, I want to see Wrexham at the Emirates, and I want to slap them 10-0. I don't like this romantic nonsense. Just burst the bubble, send them back home to Wales. Lads, let's start with Wayne this time, because you have a penchant for silverware and for domestic trophies. FA Cup, how high is it on your list, my friend? Are you excited about this competition kicking off?
Yeah, absolutely. The opportunity to see us in a competition that we can go on to win, in a competition that is ours. It's called the Emirates FA Cup. It's our FA Cup. We've won it the most times. I love this competition. It's one of my favourites because of our history in it. I've been disappointed with some of our showings, particularly in the last 4 or 5 years or so since we won it. And yeah, I always want to see teams that I don't get to see regularly. If we could have a run in the FA Cup where we beat Portsmouth and then we play Wrexham at home, and then we play like Burton Albion the week after, like the round after, I'd be ecstatic with rounds like that, because I don't want to see more Premier League teams. I see Premier League teams week in, week out, and I don't want difficult ties. I want a cupcake route all the way to the FA Cup final, if and when it's possible. Listen, realistically, we're not going to win a quadruple, but as of today, a quadruple is on. It's possible. We can all dream, right? And look, I just think we've got a lot of heritage in this competition. We've had a lot of bad calls in this competition from our side, not from referees or anything like that. We've had a lot of bad performances. Wearing that stupid white kit has been a bad call from us in the past 4 or 5 years. Listen, I completely support the initiative to stop knife crime. Just don't do it with the kits. I'm glad we're not doing that this year. And yeah, I love the fixture against Portsmouth, because like you said, there's a lot of Barclays heritage in there. There's a lot of good memories in there, and hopefully it's the start of a long cup run for us.
Showrov says FA Cup. We need it. I need it. Yembele, it's the FA Cup against Portsmouth. Portsmouth are hovering down just above the relegation zone in the Championship. They are 21st this season with 24 games on the board. They have won 6, drawn 7, lost 11. A goal difference of, what is that? -14. It's not looking good, Brev, for them. So we have a chance to go down to Fratton Park. We'll talk about lineup shortly, but it's a fixture that, should be fairly straightforward for the Arsenal, yeah.
My friend, do you remember we went to Bradford for a game which was supposed to be straightforward?
Oh,
that was
my God.
That was League Cup, to be fair. League Cup, come on.
It doesn't matter. When it's straightforward, it should be. But this one should be.
Wait. We got a new name. The Carabooty.
The Carabooty.
Karen, you have absolutely trumped the Carabobians. It's now the Carabooty Cup. Sorry, you were saying, yeah, look, we're not unfamiliar with upsets over the years, but I feel the squad this season is so strong, and Arteta is going to take this seriously, and it should be
bloody Bradford. Come on, man. Sheffield Wednesday. Like, come on.
Nah, mate, I was mentally scarred by that game because we had the pylon from my in-laws straight afterwards. They were laughing at us, laughing. My mother-in-law, who doesn't usually literally came into the room with the biggest grin on her face, going, "What happened, Yemen?" Honestly, but with the rotation that we've got, the ability to rotate that we have, the quality as well in the players coming in, we should have no excuses. I would expect a very good level of rotation and still be competitive. If you look at it, that I don't think we're going to see too many of the first teamers in there. The left back is obviously the problem area, I think, where we're going to have to be creative.
Well, let's go through the team, because Wayne was saying earlier, he's sort of joking, have you not met Arteta? Lots of people in the chat. In fact, chat, let me know your teams. Let me know your starting 11s. Use your creative minds to think about who we have in the squad and who you'd like to see. Not necessarily what Arteta's going to do, but what you would want to do. Kai Havertz, of course, wasn't in the squad last night, but apparently he is ready and could be part of the squad this weekend. But chaps, I mean, look, I guess working from the goalkeeper, David Raya needs a little bit of time off, I would say, to rest mentally and a little bit physically. He's practically an outfield player now. So Kepa, we're all expecting to start in goal. Yeah. Okay. So left back, as you started, Dembele. I think the only choice we have is Miles Lewis-Skelly, because Ricky Calafiori's out for another couple of weeks. Nketiah, rumoured to have done his hamstring, has gone for a scan. Depending on who you believe and follow on socials, Hand of Arsenal has suggested maybe we've gotten away with one there, and it may not be as long as 8 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever's being reported. So Miles Lewis-Skelly straight into the team for you.
Yeah, both? He needs the minutes. He looked, like a cold player coming in against Liverpool, didn't he?
Tony says that, yeah,
mildly.
Tony says, yeah, I'm surprised you haven't brought up 1933 when we lost to Huddersfield. Oh, he's old enough. He's old enough. Okay, so look, Miles Lewis-Skelly coming in at left back. Centre back is the problem area, because obviously with Nketiah out now, then you don't have much scope. I'm wondering if you may go Norgard at the back. This is why we need Mark Way. No, go on.
I wonder if he may do what he did in the Champions League and play Norgard at centre back with maybe even will Mari Salmon get it?
No, not with the midfielder alongside him.
Saliba and or Gabriel will start, and then hopefully at 45 minutes the other one will come on.
Hopefully.
Maybe Marino can play centre back.
He's done it before. He's done it. He's done it. He did it at Borussia Dortmund.
Jesus. So look, one of them, I think you're right, Wayne. I think it's going to be Saliba. I think it'll be Saliba to start alongside Norgard.
I think it'll be Gabriel. I think it will be Gabriel because he's played less football. I know he's been injured, but I think it will be Gabriel and Norgard.
Okay. Right back, I think we're all agreed Ben White's got to get some minutes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Benjamin White. Mike Jones says, I think Norgard might play centre back. Danny says MLS, Gabriel, Saliba and White. The way you've done this team has thrown me. MLS, you'd never go with a left back first, but I know we've done that. Marino, Norgard, and Wanyeri midfield. So let's talk about midfield. I don't want to see any of these three in the team.
You're going to see one of you're going to see one of
We're
them.
going to see Rice, aren't we?
No, it'll be Zubimendi. He'll go with Zubimendi.
You'll see Zubimendi.
No. This is Mikel. Come on, please.
You can't have Norgard at centre back and Marino as your DM. I don't get. I know it's Portsmouth.
You can. It's Portsmouth. You can.
You can't.
You can.
It'll be so disjointed. It'll be so disjointed.
You cannot have Mikel Marino as your six.
I think you can, and you have to.
You want a midfield three of Marino, Eze, and Wanyeri. That's what you're suggesting.
Not necessarily Wanyeri, but certainly Marino and Eze for sure. I mean, I'd be tempted to give Ødegaard a run out. I know I've just said I don't want him to see in the team, but honestly, I don't think he's
Ødegaard wasn't
better,
great.
But he wasn't great on Thursday.
No,
and if you're the captain of this football club,
he needs the rest more than Zubimendi does.
Wanyeri, I think, is on his way to Bournemouth. So, is there any point in playing him on Sunday and then sending him? I don't know. Mohammed says Kepa, White, MLS, Salmon, and Saliba. Noni Madueke, Norgard. Hang on. Wait, whoa. You've completely ruined my mind here. Who's your midfield? Norgard, Marino, and Eze. Oh, Salmon with Saliba. Why is Noni just randomly the fifth player there? So Madueke. What? How many players have you got here? Actually, that's right. I'll tell you what, it's been a long day. Alan says some players need minutes. MLS, Eze, Wanyeri, Ben White, Norgard, Jesus, and Marino. I mean, okay, so you guys are going for whom in midfield? You're going for definitely Declan Rice. Is that what you're saying?
No,
I
Declan
think it would be
Rice will not play.
Zubimendi.
I think it'd be Zubimendi.
I'd be
Again, I think it will
amazed if
be.
was Mendy.
I think it will be a Saliba and Gabriel situation where Zubimendi plays like 60 minutes and then Rice comes in for the final 30.
Jonathan says Marino, Eza, and Ethan probably too attacking for Mikel. Stephen says Mikel Marino 9 ball. I need it. Oh God, we've gone back to that. There's a shout here from Cardiac Cat says I'd rather Rice at 6. Rice needs to be at home.
dead.
Someone lock him up. I'm talking about Rice, obviously not Cardiac Cat.
Whichever one starts against Portsmouth probably won't start against Chelsea.
True.
Okay, here's a question. Lots of people talking about Marley Salmon. Why can't he start in this game alongside a Saliba? He
should.
Okay, so if Saliba is going to play Salmon alongside him and play Norgard as the 6, and then play Marino and Eza ahead of him.
It's possible. The only concern is that you've got a young player who's going to be on what is likely to be a very, very close to frozen pitch tomorrow at the South Coast. It is on Sunday, but it's going to be a tough environment. So do you put him in there, or is Chelsea probably the better time to put him in?
You want Marley Salmon to play? Stop! No, you're annoying me now.
It's the Carabobbins. You don't need to.
It's a semi-final. You're not playing Marley Salmon against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
Is that what you just said? Sorry, I zoned out for a minute in the comments. Yeah, Mbele, come on.
Do you know what?
I'm doing it to wind up. I'm doing it to wind him up. I'm doing it to wind him up.
No, you're not. You were being sincere.
I know.
Do you know what actually might be a shout, which is probably more likely than Salmon? Maybe.
Oh God, here we go.
If you have Ben White and Saliba or Gabriel at centre back, and they have who was the kid that went on to Josh Nichols as the right back? He's been around the senior team before. That's an option. I just don't think Arteta's going to do it with either Nichols or Salmon, to be honest.
You'll see one of the first team.
Yeah, we'll see. Salmon says Doug says Salmon against Portsmouth. No way, Chelsea. No way against Chelsea. Salmon would be better paired with Gabriel than Saliba. And Rancid is playing, says, play Salmon against Chelsea. It's don't get Wayne started, please. I'm going to remove that comment. Right. And then the final 3. So it's going to be either Salmon and Saliba at the back with Norgard playing at 6, or one of Rice and Zubimendi for you both coming in, whereas I reckon we should just try and get away with Marino and Wanyero. We don't even need a holding midfield. It's Portsmouth, for goodness sake. There, I know, especially after Wrexham have just knocked out Forest. Forward 3. What are we doing?
Straightforward. Jesus is striker, Martinelli on the left, and Madueke on the right.
Oh, where's Eze actually? Hold on, we forgot about Eze completely.
No, Eze's in the midfield.
So in your midfield it's Marino.
It'll be Eze Marino +1.
Yeah, okay.
You'll agree with that, right? Yeah. Yeah, Eze's
I
got to be
think
midfield.
So. Yeah, Eze needs the minute. He needs the minutes.
I'm adamant. Play Odegaard. Force him to play. Play him with Eze and just stick Marino behind them. Look, up front, I think you're absolutely right. Madueke's got to play. I think he'll have a really good game. Martinelli's got to play, although will he? I wonder what sort of reception Martinelli will get.
The Portsmouth fans will just randomly boo him for no reason.
Well, I don't know. Do they hate Liverpool more? Probably.
I don't think they care. They've seen Martinelli in the news. Yeah. They'll just boo him.
Yeah, true. Would you be tempted to give Gyökeres a start?
No, I don't want to stay in London.
Really?
Stay at home. Don't even bother turning up.
The run starts Sunday.
No, the run of what?
A hattie from Victor.
Just rest. Stay out of the spotlight. We've got Jesus starting. Hopefully Kai can play 20, 30 minutes maybe. That's what I'd like.
He'll probably be on the bench. He will probably be on the bench, won't he?
All right.
It's probably too early. It's probably too early to start. I would love to start Kai, but I think it's probably a bit too soon for that.
Could we just go 3 at the back? Forget Salmon. Just play Saliba, Ben White.
Do you know Arteta? Even when we thought we were playing 3 at the back, Declan Rice was the right back. We're not going 3 at the back.
Play 3-4-3 or 3-3-4. Play
so you want
Jesus
Amorim as the manager?
Gyökeres.
You want Amorim as the manager? Is what you're saying?
No, I don't. Right. Scores. Let me have your score predictions chat. Can't be bothered to type it in the chat. We've been going for an hour and a half now, so let's wrap it up to a close. Give me your score predictions. What do we think is going to happen at Fratton Park? Portsmouth versus Arsenal. Yembele, you go first, my good man. It is your birthday. Oh, here we go.
I'm going for a 3-1 to Arsenal.
Just as Mohammed writes exactly that. 3-1 to the Arsenal. Wayne, what are you going for?
2-0.
2-0. Yeah, nice. Are you going on Sunday, Wayne? Have you sorted that?
I hope so. I messaged who
Paul?
you suggested, so fingers crossed.
Good.
I've dropped him a message and we'll see.
Good. Mohammed 3-1. Mike says Gyökeres settles the Chelsea game. FK, easy hat-trick, and then the fingers through the hair at 3-0. Oh, imagine. Yem's not having it. Look at him. He's disgusted, or is he falling asleep?
No, I'm disgusted. It's mild disgust.
Stelrov says 1-0 to the Arsenal. Vivad says 3-0. Mohammed says 3-1. Fawaz says 4-0. Rancid saying 2-0. Dave saying 3-0. Alex Bellotti, welcome evening, Don Faisal. Any updates on Trossard's value increasing before he's moved to Saudi? Yeah, that's tongue-in-cheek. But listen, if there's value and he wants to go this summer, it might be the time. Country Budmon says 3-1. Sam says 2-0 to the Arsenal. Let's do 5-0. Says Mike, as does Ampalash. I think we're going to win. I think we're going to win comfortably. I think we're going to win, 2 or 3-0. Let's go 3-0 because you guys have gone with the other scorelines. We're going to leave it there. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, what a lot of fun that has been, even though it's been a goalless game that we talked about, and Martinelli and Gyökeres, which is always difficult to hear. And got to hold my hands up. He does not look like the right player for Arsenal. But there's still time to shine, Victor. There's still time to shine. What's the line that he uses? Something about the darkness? Go on, Yem, you must know this.
Oh, the Bane one. I was born in the darkness.
Go back to it.
Yeah, mate, he didn't come out the darkness. He's still fumbling around going like this. Where's the ball? Where's the ball at? Because I can't see it right now.
Go back
he plays like he's in darkness.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's blindfolded. That's what he's blindfolded.
He's still in he plays like he's in the darkness.
You two are so mean, man. Honestly, I'm glad the viewing population are very, very kind. Gyökeres sleeps with the light on. No, let's not. Let's not. Right. If anybody wants to follow birthday boy Yembele, it was actually his birthday yesterday. 52 today. At Verge59, there he is. Send him all the abuse you want on socials. Get involved in the Red Lines and Half Spaces podcast. And Wayne, who's dropped a very new episode of the Can You Believe It podcast, is available at Wayne's World 20_. If you haven't already, tune in to the live studio or the recorded studio session. Type in the word gargantuan into the chat, into the comments, and you'll be entered into the competition. Thank you also to our Patreon members, channel members. Your support is absolutely fantastic. Your contributions go a very long way. You guys know that. And if you're listening on audio platforms, please do drop a like and subscribe and leave us a kind review and all that sort of jazz. If you like ad-free stuff, head over to patreon.com/lattefirm. For the price of a coffee a month, you can support this wonderful channel. Thank you for all the lovely messages. We're going to leave it there. That's it. It's a cold weekend. No football tomorrow. Let's take a breather. Arsenal are back in action on the South Coast against Portsmouth on
Loads
Sunday.
of football tomorrow. What are you talking about?
There is actually. Well, no, as in there's no Arsenal tomorrow. There is loads of football actually tomorrow. Do you want me to?
No, you'll be there for hours. Don't worry.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, listen. The picks of the fixtures. Spurs have a chance as
against Villa.
Underdogs.
It's Spurs against Villa.
Yeah, that's 5:45 kickoff. That'll be quite an entertaining game. Could have an upset on our hands. Spurs actually might win a game. City at home to Exeter, of course. Charlton at home to Liam Rossinia's Chelsea. And by the way, speaking of Liam Rossinia, I have Matisse on the show tomorrow morning to do a Chelsea preview show. It's going to be recorded for launch on Monday. But he is I quite enjoy watching his content. It's a collaboration that you probably didn't ever realize or think was ever going to happen, but I think you need it. So we will be there for that. And then Arsenal play on Sunday. Right. Look after yourselves. Take care. Bye for now.